All right, 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 all right. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, check,
Mic
check,
check.
check, 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 mic, mic. All right.
No, we're not putting that on Patreon. I just did a breakdance move. That is not happening. All right, I guess it's gonna have to go. All right,
Yeah.
ready?
All right. Cool.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once again from the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two hosts, Suhey Sotomayor, and with me always, Mr. E.L. Discipline. Before we get into anything, and before I introduce our beautiful in studio guest, you know how we do. We're going to ring the little thingy. You want to ring it?
Like how?
You just grab it and you hit it. Pakata.
Yeah.
You hear it?
Oh. Okay.
All right. Do you want to introduce our beautiful, lovely guest?
Oh no. You could.
He said, no, I don't want to. This is my daughter, Jaylin. We guys to call her Jay for short.
Flag.
And she's an entrepreneur as well.
I do
But
a
what-
little something. I do a little something.
Like what? What do you do?
I make bracelets, like friendship bracelets in a multitude of styles.
I have
Every
one
color.
actually. I have two, but she won't let me show one.
No, no.
This is the
I'm a
other one.
perfectionist. Only the best, only the top quality. I don't really do like
IG.
social media.
At what? What's your thing? on Snapchat?
Jaylin Patalo, Jaelyn Patalloo.
On Snapchat.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. Okay, so oh man, 96, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's like when we get to 999, whew,
Dang.
That's that good luck.
999.
Mhm.
And then we hit that 100th episode, for the visuals, but we've put out over 100 episodes. We've had special editions,
more.
bonus. Yeah, but now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see down there, patreon.com, bonus episodes will no longer be on YouTube. They'll be exclusively on Patreon. Bloopers, lives, Q&As.
Behind the scenes.
We can't plead the fifth or well, specifically me in one Q&A with the author, but I guess they could contact Suhei too.
You don't have to.
Q&As about my lifestyle, whatever. I'm not gonna plead the fifth. I won't plead the fifth. Y'all paying the money, so
Alright.
You'll get to
that.
know.
Lives, bloopers, behind the scenes. You'll see videos of us setting up.
Mhm.
You know how we set up audio.
Whole
and,
process.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
content.
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
also get first dibs on the next seminar and or workshop.
The news.
Yeah, you get all the news first,
Mm.
and that's it. So, are you gonna do your thing?
Um,
Of course, yes.
nah.
You liar.
You could go ahead,
Go ahead and do one.
start the show.
No. That's not until 10
Oh.
because I have to memorize. Well, are you gonna do a new one? Because not everything is free.
Mm. Damn. Nah, I'm gonna keep it the same,
All
and
right.
I'll just switch that up for that.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we know y'all fiends, and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy, where not everything is completely free.
I like it.
But what is
Okay.
free is it's judgment free, it's sucker free, it's censor free, it's sensitive free, and plenty of liberty. Well, we're on Patreon now, so it's not really plenty of liberty. It's the irony about living in this country. We don't have freedom of speech. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine or my favorite, roll a blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversations. Prepare your mind to be fed. Oh, I'm going to be vulgar today. Just
Oh,
letting you know.
man.
Prepare your mind to be fed.
Okay.
Like one of inhale life and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're
We're
here.
Ooh.
All right, so just a disclosure. I'm gonna be vulgar. And you can give me pushback.
Hey.
Oh, I
Don't
will.
be afraid of
That's who I
pushback.
am, baby.
We could get pushback. Not worried about that. So, you're open to do that. All right.
All right.
Alright.
So, what do you think about our title? Do men and women care more about titles than actual relationships?
Before we get into that, so it's sponsored by Stetter Stage Music in Belmore, New York.
Shout out Joe.
All
He's
right.
the manager.
All right.
All right. So now what do you think about that?
What do I think about that? Well, I think do men and women care more about titles in the actual relationship? I do think so. I would
Both?
say. Um well, I think for different reasons. I think every girl wants, like the what are we like kind of thing, you know. So
That
it's like
title, like I'm
just
your
to
girlfriend.
know, just to like get that clarity. I think sometimes with men it's like they kind of want to have like, oh, she's the prettiest woman in the room and she's mine. That kind of thing.
Okay.
But I think women do it as more of like a security, like just to get like let's get this clear, like what are we?
Got
You know
you.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So what gender do you think is more accepting or desires to be lied to or told what they want to hear?
The ladies for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like
agree with you on that.
definitely.
100%.
Why? Why do you think that
Why
is?
do I think that? Because sometimes you want to hear a certain thing. Like the typical, "Oh, does this outfit make me look fat?" Better not tell me it
Mm.
makes me look fat. Like
All right, so we're gonna do a panel.
okay.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do a panel. So we're not just gonna ask her
Mm-hmm.
what she thinks. That makes sense what you said. Now, do men and women care more about titles than actual relationships? So Jay, you said women care more about titles than the relationship, or they care about the relationship more than the titles? Men care more about the titles than the relationship. Which one is it?
Oh, interesting question.
I think hmm, I don't know. I think it depends cuz like I mean, me personally, I would care more about the relationship, but I think having a label is like,
Like how you said, like security.
yeah, definitely, but I guess I would say the relationship more.
Okay.
But it would be
Women.
nice to have both.
Mm.
Okay.
I think I think men and women care about the titles, but I think women care more about the relationship.
Good answer.
Okay. So I'm the opposite of that.
You think women care
Women
more
care
about the
more about
titles?
titles than the actual relationship.
And why is it that you
Um,
think that?
because like she said about security, I'll even expound on that status.
Okay.
Women love status. They love men that have status, and they love to have status. That's why a lot more women would rather be married than wives. So because they want
Mm.
the status and if they in their mind the prestige of marriage.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that like, women care more about titles than the relationship.
So why do you think that men care more about relationships?
Men control it. A lot of them don't know that they do, but subconsciously men control relationships and commitment. So
Yeah, but
it
them controlling it doesn't mean that they care more about it. They just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think that
well
leads
well
back to the point.
I believe that because well we're gonna get down into the bullets, but I believe like a lot men more they sacrifice more to be with women, and
I could see that,
maintain
I don't
the
know.
the relationship.
but I
And
could also see women doing that too. So
Yeah.
okay.
well
So then,
we'll get into it.
yeah. So Jay
They
and
believe they both sacrifice, but I feel like men sacrifice more. But go ahead.
okay, for the next one, what gender is more accepting or desires to be lied to or told what they want to hear? Jay said,
Women.
women. I agree with her. I also
Mm,
say women.
yeah, women. Yeah.
Do you believe women marry who they can and men marry who they want? Jay, you're always gonna go first because you're the guest.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Who they can and men marry who they want. I think hmm, like I think more women marry who they want because they have more options, I feel like. And men, it's like you know, you get what you can at a certain age. I also think age plays a big role in
I was
this.
thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I think age plays a big part of that too.
Yeah, cuz like once you hit that certain age, it's like, oh, like it gives the crisis, like,
Yeah.
oh, what am I going to do with my life? So at that point, I think it's who they can, but I do think generally women have more options.
And why do you
Okay.
think that?
Um
Just because like there's thirsty guys out there?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
like, ladies, you could get any man you want. But
Okay.
men, I
I
don't know. It
think
depends on the girl.
I think definitely age plays a fact with women marry who they can. As like you said, the
Yeah.
older they get, you know, slim pickings, and plus it's, you know, you can't have kids at a certain age, you know,
Yeah.
or it's more harder, you know, stuff like that. I think men marry though who they want at any age. Even though men are older, if they have money, they can marry whoever they want.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mr. Discipline?
You said women can marry whoever they want.
Yeah, I do think that.
No, not true. Women can get a man, like just the component, the man, the object, the figure, the human being. They could get any man, but they
Okay.
can't really get. Well, technically, they can't get any man. So they could get a man, like you could get, like in a way, it's like okay, you could get any man, but really you can't get any man. Want me to explain it?
Okay.
Okay, so you can get any man. Like let's differentiate males and men. So
Okay.
you can get a lot of males. So you can get any man. You get a man on one leg, you get a homeless man, you get a maybe a rich man or whatever it is, depending on the value of the woman, what he's looking for in her. But when it comes down to you can't get any man, now it's the caliber, now it's the hierarchy. So, a
Within
woman,
men, you're saying?
maybe perhaps a woman that lives in a low income environment. She has like an attitude. She's kind of masculine, like she talks like a man.
Well,
Um
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
it's not, but
Personally.
I'm trying to break it down
No, I
for you.
got you. I got you.
So she talks like a man. She
Right. Not
moves
every
moves
man likes
moves
that.
moves like a man. She might not be able to get a guy in Wall Street,
Okay.
Times Square, Soho, because he might have a different level of education, and he
And a
wants
preference.
he wants a counterpart. He wants a different level of education. Like he might want more feminine women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's what I mean, where she could get any man, but she really can't get any man.
Okay.
So as women get older, their options decrease. See, like, you're entitled to your own opinion, but I believe that because there's so much thirsty men out there, those are not real options. Those are sexual options. But I feel
Well,
like more women would rather be in
A relationship.
secure relationships than
Yeah.
having casual sex, fuck buddies,
I
one
think
night
so too.
stands.
Again,
So,
age comes into play. But
yeah,
okay, so back to what you were saying about the girl who maybe she comes from a low income neighborhood.
yeah.
Maybe not marry him, but I'm sure like she could get him for something
If she
else.
looks good, like
Well,
maybe he's looking for
and
a
maybe she just
prostitute.
has that it factor. Like, sometimes you can't explain it. So I think that she could probably get him, but not,
Hold on.
not to marry, you know what I mean?
How
But
would
she could
she?
still get him.
How would she get him?
I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know the circumstance, but I don't know. Women, don't underestimate women. The power of
See,
seduction.
see, that's what I'm saying. Sexual option.
Yeah.
You
So,
know,
which
so
is different. So you're
yeah,
right about that. But they
so
can get him, just not for marriage. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah. So that's what
yeah. So
that's
that's
what I mean when I say
yeah,
women can get any man,
yeah,
not for like marrying. That's true.
yeah. Because you guys could acquire sex easy. A lot of your value comes from your beauty,
Mm-hmm.
comes from the fact that you have a hole, and a
Oh,
lot of
Oh
men are
my
just
oh
trying
God.
to.
Lord,
Jesus
A lot of men
Christ.
are just trying to stick it in.
Oh
They
my
don't care
Jesus.
about how she looks.
it's
Sometimes it's
true.
so that's why y'all have options like that. Most men are thirsty,
No, I agree. That's what
but
I'm saying.
reality is the creep that is 5 creeps are coming to you a day. You're not giving them any time of day because they're not your quality man.
Right.
So that's what like I say, yeah, women can get any man, but they really can't get any man.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I believe men marry who they can and women marry who they when men marry who they want and women marry who they can. At some point, some women get to a certain age where if it wasn't like a high school sweetheart, they're like, uh, it's beyond the biological clock. Now they're running for scraps because they're paranoid. I'm getting to that age, like, yo, I should have been married at 30. I'm
Yeah.
35. I'm 37.
Yeah.
So they run into like panic mode. So in that moment, these guys that you really wanted are probably taken. So now you kind of have to settle for the scraps. I see it happen all the time. I was talking to a woman the other day. She's a newly single mom.
Oh, ditto.
And before they got married, I was talking to her and I was like, yo, do what you want, but I don't think you should go on with it because he's not the type of man you would be with. You know what I'm saying? But because he was a provider and he's willing to, yo, I'll pay the bills, you be a housewife. You know, I'm saying, yo, like I see the way y'all take pictures. He's not claiming you. He's not even grabbing your ass. Nothing. You're like cuddling him. You put your hand around your throat, his throat when you kiss him. I see who wears the pants. It's not gonna work. She was like, oh, you know, I respect your opinion, but she wouldn't listen. She comes to me months later. She's a single mom. Oh, he kicked us out because at the end of the day, she's like,
out. My God.
she's like, oh, I wanted my own. So I'm like, sometimes things also change when you get married. The more of the woman. You see nowadays, 80% of divorce is being initiated by women. That's crazy, right? So something's changed with the
Well,
women.
I think that based off like because back in the day divorce was so taboo, and now women, like, since they're more, independent as a modern woman, they can make the money, make the resources where they don't have to depend on the man. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Like, I think it's great that women have the option to leave. If it's an abusive relationship, you make the money and you leave. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's
I agree
a good
too, but
thing.
I
yeah, but
think the better thing would be, to really vet the person that you're talking to so that it doesn't, end up that way.
No, I
Because
I
you know
agree
what I mean?
completely, but like he said, marriage does change things.
Yeah,
People get
yeah,
too comfortable,
definitely.
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And you know what? Like, I agree with you, like women getting out of those toxic relationships. Um, but
Excuse me.
now you got to start over and now you got to do this like it's if age accumulates, now what else is left out there for me. You see what I'm saying? So back in the days, like our parents and grandparents would probably stayed together, not just because social media didn't exist back then and technology's not as evolved as it is today. They stayed together for survival. So
yeah.
now you're
Yep.
saying women are more empowered now than anything on a financial aspect,
Yeah.
especially that they don't need a man for survival anymore.
Mhm.
So that's like the moment they feel like we're not having enough sex, you're not giving me enough attention. I got strangers caring about me more than you on even online.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this,
That's
I'm
funny.
not doing that. I could see naked male bodies online. They feel like they got options now. Now they be like, fuck you, I'm out. Divorce time. Whereas
Divorce time.
back then there weren't that many options because of that. They were like, we were gonna be together and we were gonna
Work it out.
work it out even through the hiccups. We were gonna work it out because like I need you and you need me.
Mm.
We're in a culture now of we don't need each other.
Yeah, nobody needs anybody.
And there's so much dating apps and social media that you're replaceable like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is true, but you might not get quality.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like we could both attract each other quick based off technology, social media, whatever.
Visually.
We're more extroverts. We like to go out and we're not scared of speaking. So we could get each other no matter what. But quality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like the
Like
quality of conversation you have with that person.
you build some type of identity.
Chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you build some type of identity being in that relationship.
All right. So, is marriage the end goal for men or women?
I think both again, but I guess more women. Like women are like, "Oh, I've been planning my wedding since I was 6 years old." Like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think
Not
for
me.
women that yeah, I know me either. But I feel like yeah, like even if it's just the title, it's like I'm a wife, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, but for men, like I said in the beginning, oh, like my girl's the prettiest in the room. Like, men also want to be able to, like
Right. Get
brag
that
about their
title.
chick, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I definitely think marriage is the end goal for women.
Yes.
I
Men, I
mean,
feel
men,
like,
I think
yeah,
there's like,
whatever.
hey, whatever, it's a bonus. But I think women are the ones who,
Push for
they
it.
get bridezillas and all that shit.
Oh my
Like those
gosh,
psycho
yeah.
ones. Like, it has to be perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah,
EL Discipline.
definitely agree with you all.
Yeah. Would women rather be married than actual wives? I'm gonna go with yes with that. Sometimes. Sometimes it's a 50-50 because you have those women
She's
that
supposed to
just
go
want, oh
first,
my
and you
God, I'm
jumped in.
sorry. Go.
No, I feel like you already
Go.
Go
started.
ahead.
No, go. Finish your
I think
thought.
it's a 50-50 because you have those women that, they don't care about the actual marriage and being a wife. They just want we've said the ring, the title of it.
Yeah.
But then there are those women that love their man so much that
Mhm.
they want to be his wife. They want to take on his last name and stuff. So
What do you
it's definitely
think,
a
Jay?
50-50.
Okay, well, I have two different examples. So, have you ever seen 90 Day Fiance? So it's like,
Mm-mm.
no? Oh man, it's so
Is that
good.
like chick flick?
No,
No, it's
it's
like
like a
a
reality show. It's
Oh,
like,
I
oh,
don't.
they
I don't
they
do those.
okay, well, basically they get they meet each other and then they have to get married within 90 days. A lot of it is like for papers or something
Oh.
like that. So, in that case, I'm definitely going to say the title cuz if your status in terms of staying in a country, I'm gonna say for sure that, but I also think there's some women like Carol G. She has like a song where she says, like basically without anything, without like on paper that they're still
that's still my
together.
man.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, I think it depends on the woman again. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
definitely.
answer.
I think it depends on the woman.
It to me it depends on the region and
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hemisphere.
I
Yeah,
think so too.
like the
Women
culture.
women
For
who are
sure.
in Saudi Arabia, could be Europe. They may want to be wives than care about marriage. And then you have
The
maybe
westernized.
yeah, they may want the marriage versus actually being wives,
Mm-hmm.
because you have more women that are enthusiastic about planning the whole thing. Yo, I want it to be at least $20,000 minimum. I want this many guests. We gotta have like 300,
Like that to show
400,
off.
500.
Yeah.
I want this type of dress, the most expensive one
Mm-hmm.
because it looks the best. I want
Mhm.
blah 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 blah. I want a DJ there. I want, like, men are like looking at catalog like, yo,
Like, I don't
some
care.
men I've heard,
Yeah.
some men I've seen shit where, damn, I thought you were just gonna take care of all this, because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, men are not.
No,
You see what I'm
me either.
saying?
I got married in my
Some men
backyard.
might just be like,
Oh Lord.
some men
Yeah.
might just be like, let's elope or something, or
Yeah, that would have been
why
me.
have
Girls
so
say
many
that
people?
too. If you don't like the attention, I
Yeah,
would be an elope kind of
yeah,
girl.
yeah. That's like
I would.
that's a small
Too much
percentage,
pressure.
very small percentage of
Yeah.
women, almost a rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
No,
me.
I agree.
I fall into that 1% all the time, I'm telling you.
Most
Pick
women would
me.
rather be
Pick
married.
me.
Yeah,
Shut up.
because I don't see a lot of women in this modern era really behaving as wives.
Yeah.
A
I
lot of
think
them are
maybe
behaving as
on
wives.
social media, like, oh look, I'm the perfect wife. Like on
Yeah,
TikTok,
yeah,
you
Yeah.
see all
yeah.
those couple pages. I think like for example, like the Ace family, modern, people who like they're YouTubers, they're pretty famous, but it's like it's strictly for views, so I don't think it's like they're
Like
focused on
genuine
being the perfect.
couple.
Yeah, exactly. It's more for
Mm.
show. It's the title. So that's when it
Gotcha.
comes to that.
All right.
I
So
think in today's culture.
yeah, definitely, and definitely in the westernized world. But status, is that success for men or women, or is it both? I don't understand that question. Can you read it?
So, with status, do you think that, like, when you get status, is that like you made it for men or women, or it's both?
Like relationship status?
No, just in general, status.
Both.
Okay,
100% both.
okay.
I think so too.
I think for men it's success, like, in general. Forget about status. I know guys who don't even care about social media. They don't put their cars, money, all that stuff on social media. They don't care about that because that is something that can inspire status.
Well, that's status in
So
terms of social media. I
so
feel like
so okay.
job title.
Yeah. So now, like,
Hmm.
women getting BBLs, that's like, to me, status. They care more
That's
about
bad
having a
status.
fat ass in this modern era than actually getting the degree, PhD, and stuff of that nature. Like getting injections, breast done, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Worrying about
Yeah, my wrist
worrying about their actual looks for status. bags, those Chanel bags. And this is my opinion.
No,
so,
okay, I'm sorry. Pushback. He said to give him pushback.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
So
Do I gotta stay in the middle?
so like the Chanel bags, the Birkin bags, status.
Okay.
You know, so more
But then
women.
you got men buying those bags for those women.
well,
What does that make them?
okay.
Status.
And then men with Rolex chains, you know, like
Yeah.
designer clothes. Let me get these Gucci
The
jeans.
sneakers.
I'm
You know how
wearing-
many sneakerheads?
So
I don't know.
true.
I don't know a lot of men like who are like high value men that do that stuff.
No, but it's still men
Yeah,
versus women.
because like real high value men do not do that. Remember those old school American gangsters back in the day?
Yeah.
The real
Well, not
ones.
really, but-
They
Mhm.
moved in silence as much as possible.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they dress poorly. You know, like
No,
suits and stuff, which
We're
is also
talking about
status.
displaying to the public eye is equate to status. And I'm telling you that I know guys who don't even do that, or who I knew guys who didn't do that, who I considered real high value dominant men. That the fake ones,
I agree with you.
are
It's the
the
more
ones
fake men that do that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
true, but
so
I mean, men still
who
do
do
it.
you think cares more about attention, Jay? Men or women?
The
you're
women.
jumping.
Okay,
over
no-
there.
Women, but I want to go back to the plastic surgery part. I think there can be successful women like doctors, all that, but if you don't like the way you look, like a lot of women do it for themselves, not for like status, like, you know
I
what
did
I
it for
mean?
myself.
Exactly, like that's like self-confidence. So that is like more internal, like just to match, you know, how you feel comfortable. I don't think that that's just for status. Like some women will get like a boob job and still not post about it, be like, "Oh, look at this." Like and
Yeah,
have their boobs out in every picture.
But don't most women do it?
What do you mean?
Don't most women do it?
No, I don't think so.
Do most women?
You said some women will get a boob job and not post
Yeah.
it. And then I asked you, but do most women do it?
Get a boob job and then
and then
post,
post it.
Yeah.
Get a butt
Get
job
the BBL,
and
definitely.
then post it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at my new yoga pants. Do a little twerk. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
look,
no, you're
look,
right.
I got my nails done, showing cleavage. Look at my nails right up in front of the
Okay.
camera.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I do think so.
Oh, my
but-
hair is so long, butt facing the camera. Huh? How do you like my hair?
I still think it's a slay. I think it's a slay. I think ladies, if you got it, you got it.
And that's fine, but the point is status. Like they're doing that, in my opinion, for status. Like
maybe
I
status
don't-
is a bonus. Like they're doing it for themselves, but they're like, hey, like now that I have it, I feel confident enough to post this. It's not like they're doing it like, hey, I'm gonna get my ass done for a bunch
Well,
of likes.
I definitely think that it's both because
Yeah.
I had plastic surgery and I did that and I did not post my body at, like that at all. But there are women who definitely go out and get it specifically to do, to
No,
show
I do
to
think
show
so.
off like
Let me
that.
go viral. Kind
Yeah,
of thing. I
exactly.
definitely think that.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that, everyone necessarily does it for
No.
status.
Okay, so you say some, I say most women do that.
Okay.
And it's for status. Women have been oppressed for so many years that it's payback time. Men, it's
Okay.
payback time, men. Like any little thing, status. Like having a fat ass right now is status. Having a breast done or whatever it is, looking good, the best looking girl in the world, status.
Okay.
Having a blue check mark, status. Like
Well, men when they're tall, like, I'm 6'4", status. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's the same thing. Like
And the blue check mark I think goes for both. no?
yeah, 100%. That's like the definition of status. Like
Some
for
people
sure.
pay for
but
that.
that's social media. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's social media.
but don't women care more about status than men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
also women
like
have
a woman,
to prove
if a woman,
themselves a lot
if
more.
a woman, no, they don't. If a woman
What?
sees a man, okay, I don't want to say women, but if most women,
Females?
if most
No.
women,
Okay.
because
I'm
other
sorry,
women
I'm
don't
sorry.
care.
I'm sorry.
Other women don't care, but with most women, they see the blue check mark. They're like, oh, he's somebody important. If he DMs me, I'll answer back quick. A Drake,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and like the women that go to like the basketball thingies. What is that
The
called?
All-Star
Eso.
status.
Yeah.
The guy is the best DJ in New York City. I'm gravitating to him. Status. A Bad Bunny, one of the highest reggaeton artists in years.
Not
Under
just
him
the
is-
highest reggaeton artist,
under-
the number one artist in the world.
Under him is Daddy Yankee. Status.
Daddy.
Women gonna gravitate towards that.
Okay,
Provider.
women don't just like Bad Bunny for status.
No,
they
no,
love
I'm
him for who
just
he
examples,
is.
examples.
Okay.
Don't talk
Jay,
bad about
Okay,
Bad
okay,
Bunny.
Jay,
okay,
examples.
okay.
So status. Women will not fuck with a man if he doesn't have something to show. Men will fuck with women and they don't need to have anything to show. So that's why men don't care about status as much as women do.
As much. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
All right. So who gets bored easily in relationships today? Men or women?
Women.
Why is that?
Like when you're in a relationship, sometimes things will change. So it's like
Okay.
I'm not getting enough attention, like, we're not, having as much sex. Like you can get
So
bored easily. I
yeah,
definitely think
definitely.
so.
But if a guy is, so if the girl is claiming that a man isn't giving her enough attention, wouldn't that mean that maybe he got bored too?
I think he just started taking it for granted, but maybe he got bored.
Okay. Who gets bored easily in relationships today? I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think women do.
This is the first time we all agree.
No, we agreed on one before.
Yeah, I think we
This
did.
is twice already.
So I agree. And the reason there's a multitude of reasons. I agree with you,
Mhm.
Jay, which is rare today.
It is.
So yes, that's a factor. Also, women are in like they have these like follower genes with them. So you might have a woman who's trying to influence her relationship based off what she sees with Kelly and Bob or
Okay.
Jason and Julie. Just throwing names. You know?
He said not real couples.
Yeah, not real couples.
And by the way.
So she might just be like, well, damn, they go on trips. They've been together for a year. We've been on for 5.
Yeah.
What's up? Like, where can we go on trips? Or she may not even be that aggressive. She may be more like passive aggressive or
Yeah.
nice about it. Like, hey,
Internalized.
baby,
How
how
come
come we don't go on trips? And she doesn't mention like where she saw it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, I definitely think women get bored more because what they see, they're inclined to following what other girls are doing, especially if they're like a group of friends.
Yeah.
And then they start comparing their husband to their husband.
Yeah.
That's
And it becomes a competition. So those things might inspire that to get bored. Like, there's a lot of men out there who even do the same sex position every night.
Yeah.
And he don't care as long as he getting his nut off. A woman might be like, baby, we always do missionary. You don't want to look at me. You think I'm
Yeah.
ugly or something. Like, you don't want to look at me. I want to do missionary. Come on. You see,
Yeah.
like some men out there, they're basic. They're simple.
So true.
Just we do the same routine every day.
They're
Why you want
boring.
to switch things up?
Hey.
Like, baby, you went out and bought new drapes. Come on, we've had the yellow one for like 2 years. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Like a lot of
Yeah.
men are like this. Whereas like sometimes women don't like routine.
So true.
They like to switch up. They like that unpredictability. Like, stop doing the same thing. Maybe she wants you to come and grab her while she's cooking and kiss her on the neck or something. Like
Right.
at a random. Like women just don't like routine, whereas men are more about I got a program.
Yeah.
I got a strict everyday program, like a routine.
Like a regimen. Yeah.
Yeah.
What percentage of modern women are marriage material?
I think marriage material. Again, I'm gonna say I think it depends on the culture. Like Western world, I'd say
She's good. She's not giving me a straight
She's
answer.
my daughter.
it depends.
She's like
'cause
not.
I don't want to
she's
generalize.
not
She's
saying
a
a
genius.
percentage.
She's like, let me tell you.
Yeah.
She's
right?
like, this is what my
I'm thinking it
answer is gonna be
through.
based on the
It's like-
statistics.
She's clever, people.
and-
She's
I'm
clever.
thinking this through. I think
She's seen our show. She knows how you are.
I think it's like this. So, in this new era of social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, I still think that men are like, like, hey, I don't want my girl like doing the most on social media,
Mm-hmm.
like, and that's okay. Like, that's perfectly fine. Some guys are okay with it. But I think, in the eyes of men, it's a different percentage than like the actual amount. You know what I mean? Like, for
It's
picky
lower?
guys.
It's lower, you think, because of social media?
I think that's how men view it. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
like, so, well, let's say, like, what's marriage material,
I
right?
was just about to say that. See,
like-
she took my shit.
Damn it.
Well, like, what's marriage material? You know, like, what would you say?
What I say is
So-
for as a
Yeah.
woman.
So wait a minute, hold on. You didn't say a percentage though. What
Oh.
percentage do you think?
Well, first I want to define.
But what
Marriage
percentage do you
material.
think?
He said, "Come on, just answer
Well, I
it,
want to
girl."
define the. Okay, let's see. What percentage do I think of a modern woman? I'm gonna say.
Are we basing it off of what we see on Instagram?
No,
Yeah.
No,
real,
just
real,
in general.
in
Okay.
general and real statistics.
I want to say more than half. We'll go 60%.
Okay.
Should be marriage
Suhey.
material.
Maybe like a little more. I don't want to go too low. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
Suhey.
So
a politically correct answer you're going with, Jay?
I think
She's
it's
like,
more
yeah.
what I feel in my heart.
Okay,
which is correct.
go ahead.
I would say probably 50 or less.
Okay, so it's
Oh
19.
man.
That's just me. No, but that's just me.
I
You know,
know,
and we
I
are
know.
too.
I
You
know,
know,
I know.
I'm older.
So it's 19%.
How do you know?
81% are wait, what percentage are marriage material? Okay, 90%, 81% aren't, and this is worldwide. So
Worldwide.
so the reason, like now we need to put into context. Now we need to put into
What's marriage
the
material?
equation what marriage material is.
Right.
So if we're looking at marriage material, is some people like it's really subjective now. Old school traditional ways and gender roles and stuff of that nature, you know, the percentage is really low.
It
Right?
should be one of
Right?
our
Okay.
things where we ask the people on the outside.
Yeah,
this
we could
question.
do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So now now the percentage goes low. Like let's say it was at 50%. Now it goes down to like 30.
Wait, why is it going
Yeah,
down?
why?
I missed that.
Because like if we're saying marriage material, which would be a counterpart, woman or man, wife material, whatever, like
Husband.
marriage, just marriage material.
Okay.
We look at the
You said gender roles. I heard.
the gender roles. If we look at it in a traditional way, like how they lived it in 1950s. If you look at it in that way, like how marriage is supposed to be, you're supposed to get married in front of a reverend or a pastor in an altar. Like if we put all
Right, back in
these
the days.
things with marriage, and how it's supposed to be, and how we're supposed to live our lives when we live together
Right.
as husband and wife, gender roles, etc., then it decreases from
Yeah.
50% to like 30, and then it keeps going down. Like, what about women that you see out now showcasing their bodies? Their body's not a temple anymore. Now it decreases even more. You know, so if the percentage was like, for me, if it was like half of the world, over half, like 70%, we would barely see this stuff online. We would barely hear about women cheating. We would barely hear women about fighting to be submissive. We would barely hear women about getting triggered by gender roles. We would barely hear this stuff. It would be like a low 10%. But now, like when we look at what is really marriage material, like what is your definition of marriage material? Is it the same as boyfriend? A husband material, is it the same as boyfriend? Is it the same thing a boyfriend would do? Okay, so it's more prestigious.
Being married?
I want to go back to what you said about like the 50s and
She
stuff.
not
Back
answering.
then, no. I just wanted to say something about that. I think like if you're using that as a perfect relationship, again, like at that time it was really common for like men to like beat their wives. Like that was standard. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, oh, you're my woman and you're not in line. Like, you know, like let me smack the shit out of you. Like it's the 50s. I could do whatever I want. Like at that time, there was still laws in place where like a man can't rape his like wife, like even if she doesn't consent. So I don't think that's the perfect relationship to use.
I didn't say that.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm
If
just
some,
expanding on that.
because it's subjective now.
Exactly.
Each one of us has a different definition of marriage material.
Yeah.
And I was speaking for, let's say some people have that.
Yeah, that's just what I would say to them.
Yeah. So now, like, that's what it really depends on.
Yeah. I also have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of men are marriage material? Modern men.
Good question.
Okay.
Again, that's my kid, man.
Um,
Don't tell me that you're gonna pull a
I
J
would
in that answer.
say,
Yeah, right.
I would say about 40%.
Are marriage material
40 out of 60.
worldwide?
Yeah,
But
40%.
18%, no, 19% for women
Yeah,
worldwide.
Oh,
yeah.
no way. Women are way more marriage material than men on average. A lot of men are like, I don't want to settle down. That's automatically not marriage material. If
It
you're not ready to be ready for marriage, then you're not marriage material. You know what I mean? So many men are like that. They're like, "Oh, I love you, but I'm just not ready to get married. I just
and
don't want to think about that." So at that point, you're not marriage material and the woman's ready. So
no, it doesn't mean that. But you're entitled to your own opinion.
What does it mean
But
then?
it doesn't mean that because he says he's not ready now, he's not marriage material. He might be embarrassed to tell you, I want to build my empire first because I want to be the sole provider. You might not find a lot of men that will articulate everything to you. Like it's gonna be so hard, like pulling teeth to get him to open up. Because a lot of men don't do that. They don't share their feelings. They're not in tune with their femininity.
yeah, but if a man's not sharing all that either, he hasn't come, he's not as vocal about his feelings. I would want, someone who can express their feelings. That's more
And
marriage
that's
material.
no, it's not. That's subjective.
Yeah,
Because you
okay, that's my
are.
opinion.
If you are that comfortable being that way, like you're kind of projecting that upon the man. Like you're kind of saying, I want you to think and feel like me. That's not fair.
Wait, I
That
have a
doesn't
question.
negate him of not being marriage material.
Right, and
But that's
I wanna,
compatibility.
I wanna touch on that because you had said in another episode that women should ask more questions, right? Like,
Mhm.
what is your purpose for dating me?
Yeah.
And once they're in a relationship, they should talk about, okay, when do you think we're gonna get married? Right. So if in this circumstance she's saying, all right, if you're with the guy and he's like, I love you, but I'm not ready to get married, where does that fall into?
No. Now, the when are we gonna get married is a question because he's already said that's my goal as well. Let's say they get together. They're in the dating process. It's the courting process.
Right.
Whatever they do, best thing probably do is like dinner because you could hear each other.
No,
Don't
no,
do
no,
go
no,
don't
no,
do
no,
go
no,
kart.
no. We're
and-
not. This
and
isn't like
stuff
the
like
first,
that.
the first, date. No, this is already they're in a relationship.
Okay, so it's the person's fault in the beginning. Okay, so it's both people's fault, right? It's the guy's fault for saying, I'm not ready. I don't see that in my plans, or at least not yet, or whatever
Right.
it is.
I don't want to talk
And
about it.
then the woman continues to engage with him in whatever capacity.
Right,
So
but you just said though, if he said I'm not ready, it doesn't mean that he's not marriage material.
marriage material.
He's just not ready. I
Yeah.
answered my own question. You see
Yeah,
that in my
because you have to understand this, right? It's a huge burden for a guy to be with the woman that wants to get married. I want to make you understand because okay, what
it
if he
shouldn't be a burden.
wants to put most of the
Yeah,
money
I
down?
don't like that.
You understand? What if he wants to put most of the money down?
Yeah.
Like
No, I
I
understand
want to
what you're saying.
marry you, but I want to give you everything.
Oh, you mean financial?
You see what I'm
burden.
saying? Like
I do.
so in a way, why are you putting pressure on him
Well,
so much? I'm not saying you're
no,
doing that, but
no,
I'm just
I know.
speaking in
I
general.
think it's not so much that they're putting pressure. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they're putting pressure, but they're posing the question, which he might perceive as putting pressure, but she's
Yeah.
just asking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So he might say, like, he might be like, yo, I love you or whatever it is. I'm just speaking hypothetical
Yeah.
to make people understand. As I like to play devil's advocate sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, you know what? I'm building something for us. Yeah, this and that. Because he might think, yo, I had money and I lost money. So now I know how to invest money. And I want to make sure that, yeah, we can live financially independent. Where it's like, if you give everybody $1 million today, they're going to blow it in 2 minutes.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking hypothetical.
Yeah, right.
So this guy might say, I want to build for you, for the future, for our kids, our future kids, grandkids, whatever. He might be thinking like that. May not articulate that to her. Because remember, I told you, it's very difficult for a guy to really open up completely to women, let them in their heart. That ring could be a symbol of his heart.
I have a question about that. So let's say he doesn't say all of this, right? He's keeping it to himself because
Yeah.
he's not like that. Now, and all he says is, I'm not ready and I don't want to talk about it. Now, how is she supposed to perceive that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
She
how is
doesn't
she
know all
supposed to
that.
know?
Yeah.
And then if she keeps on with that
Well,
conversation a
here's-
year from now, would that be considered her nagging?
He would be the next he would be the next question she asks him. You don't want to talk about this right now. That I can't be here then, because this is something I want. And
So
this should be
you're saying that they should break up?
Yeah, this should be in the beginning. This should be in the beginning too. So in a way, if you guys are in the courting stage, and you guys like, okay, do you want to have a woman that you're going to spend the rest of your life with? Do you want to have kids? If you have kids, do you want more children? These are the questions that you should be presenting in the date.
Right.
Not what's your favorite sex position and what's your favorite color in food?
Right.
Because I like to cook.
Well, I
Or
think that,
demands like what do you like jewelry? It's stupid. Like, those are dumb questions. It doesn't pertain to, do I see a future with the opposing person?
Right.
I feel like we've talked about it, maybe not on camera, but I think we've talked about before. Damn,
The
I
right
lost my-
question.
Something like that. I'm like, oh, why did it slip my mind? Oh, okay. So
'Cause you're there
men
too.
could get like, if you bring up those questions, a lot of men could get scared
Freaked out.
off by that.
Yes.
And it's like, you should talk about it in the beginning. I
That's-
agree with you, but like, and it's not even that the man is in a high value, male or like,
Beta.
yeah, I guess you could.
Alphas.
It's not even that. It's more just like, that's scary to talk about in the first, we're not even dating. Like, you're
Right. That
yeah,
could be a turnoff.
exactly. And then automatically it's clipped for
But
that relationship.
You know what? Also, this is good because you're also talking about for your age level. This should be
Right.
talked about as someone for her age
Oh,
level. You know what I mean?
she's
You
young.
can't just be
Yeah.
telling them,
I'm
are,
21.
are we going to get married now? You know what I'm saying? Or when are we going to get married? Old boy's going to be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to go now to the
Yeah.
bathroom and not
especially in
come
the
back.
beginning.
That's-
Yeah.
That's perfect. That was good.
You see what I'm
You
you
ate.
see?
That was
She
good.
ate.
Sometimes people,
Because-
the brain
mom.
works.
Yo, being 36, like, if
You're
I'm
putting your mind in the 36-year-old woman's
Yeah,
mind.
that's
Okay.
that's what I mean, because it's like, that's good. Date within your age bracket. That's good
Ugh,
too.
we're
Because
there.
now it's like,
It's connected.
listen, if a woman encounters this type of man, and those are the type of questions, definitely. But yeah, you're right. At that
Right.
age, 21 or 25, like, yeah.
So imagine her and her friends or whatever trying to have these conversations, because it's good for them now to figure out, all right, is that guy gonna want to eventually get married? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You
But if the guy at this age is like, I don't want to talk about it, then how should they proceed?
You know what happens sometimes
Good
too?
question.
You-
Can you answer that question?
Say
I
it.
would like to hear it.
Say it-
Your
say it again.
answer.
If women in her age bracket are with men in their age or around that age bracket, and they have, had that conversation early on, about it, and then when they revisit it, and the man says, I don't want to talk about that now, how should the women proceed then?
At that age.
At that age, obviously.
They go to the beat of his drum when he's ready to talk about it.
Well, how long should they
'Cause-
wait?
Because here's the thing, I was gonna say, some women like older men because they're more mature.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
might be in a situation like that, and she's like, yo, this guy keeps dodging me, and this is what I want. I'm leaving him. She finds an older, more mature man
Yeah.
because she feels he'll be ready for that. You see, that's another thing too that you got to put
You gotta
into
be
account.
ready to let go.
I would say, like, you let the man lead because he's leading in the relationship, if it's like that. But if it's 50-50, like, I don't know how your thing is, but if, let's say it's 50-50, that's hard.
Yeah.
I don't believe in 50-50 relationships. It's hard. It's hard when you do that, because now the woman problems are going to emerge from that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Whereas a woman that is not in a 50-50 relationship with her man, if he's like, oh, I don't want to talk about this right now, that's something we could worry about later, she'll fall in line because she's following his lead.
Okay.
But a woman
I have
who
another question.
No,
Sorry
wait.
to cut you off.
Okay, go with your question.
Okay, so if you think the relationship is like, okay, like we were going by the 50-50 and that's the conversation, do you think she should step back and let him lead? Like, based off of that, like, should the dynamic change a little bit when planning for future?
Because I understand
It-
what you're saying.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, That should be a conversation. Don't just do it. Like I
Right.
always tell people, don't do that stuff. Communication is key. This is like relationship 101 that is paramount, that people just, it flies over people's heads.
And again, though, we're talking about, you just said, though, that men are not big communicators.
We're talking about their feelings.
Well,
Yeah,
in
but
general,
if you're going
say-
to talk about feelings, they're not going to communicate about anything. And this is specifically on how do you
Well-
feel about
About-
marriage.
Well, the
Yes.
solution is this. You find emotionally mature men, emotionally intelligent men. Because these men are in tune with their femininity. They
I
might
think
not
so,
understand
too.
what I'm talking about, but they are in tune with it, and they will vocalize. They will communicate as much as they
I
can.
think again
to
it
me.
comes into age, but I also think it comes into
Definitely.
culture. Because, men are taught from a young age, don't show your emotions, don't cry. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't talk
And I don't
about
agree
how
with
you
that.
feel. I 100% don't agree with it, but, that's how it is. Especially in, like,
And-
in Asian, in Asian cultures. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, they're taught, even the women, you don't talk about your feelings at all. So once you get to that emotional, like, you're in an emotional relationship, things are different. You don't say, like, I love you to your parents don't tell you they love you. You know what I mean? It's totally different, and it's hard for them to be emotionally mature because they've never had that before.
And that's what it comes down to. I'm glad you said that, but that's what it comes down to. That's why the summary, I feel the solution to the problem is find men who are emotionally mature. Because when we grow up and we say, because I grew up in the type of culture like that. My late grandmother that I always talk about told me that. But that built an unhealed discipline, an emotionally unmature, that a
Yeah.
word? Immature.
Immature.
Discipline. Like
In
I
yourself?
had myself. I had to heal myself.
So
I had to
how- at what
understand,
age
yo, this
would
is
you consider
okay.
yourself
Like
healed?
therapy's okay.
Right.
But it's like Haitian Dominican,
Uh-huh.
you tell them therapy.
Yeah.
You,
They're like,
you understand?
I do.
So, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, so like what age did you become emotionally mature? Because that doesn't happen overnight, especially
You
when
sure
it's
don't?
especially when it's instilled in
Yeah,
you
you're
from
right.
such a young age up until you're hearing that every day. That's how you're raised. You live it every day. You know what I mean? Like at what age would you say, like
In
you
my
personally,
early 20s.
early 20s?
But you know what? I also had things and people along the
I
way.
was going to
Right.
say, you had a
Support
woman
system.
that
Who was
showed you.
older.
Right? Oh, she was
Yeah.
older.
Like she was older, but like I think 5 years or 6
I
years.
mean, women. Do you think women mature? This is unrelated. Do you think women mature faster than men?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you had a woman 5 years older than you, and women mature faster, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think that definitely played a role. Not all men have that option. So do you think that they should be?
Are you saying then should the women just break up with them at that age?
But they don't have exactly like just because they don't have all those resources, it doesn't mean that they're not.
right. I think this
Exactly.
is what I think. This is what I would tell a young lady in your in your
My age
age in that
group.
situation.
Right.
Right. If you feel that he really loves you, but because he has all that trauma and all that stuff with him, I would say work with him, show him what love is, but also put a time limit, because you don't want to waste your life
Exactly.
trying to
You
fix
can't-
somebody. You
You
know what I
can't
mean?
show him what love is.
Yes, you can.
I 100%.
No,
Yes,
you
you
can
can.
show him how you love.
Yes,
You
and
can't-
that
He can
that
build
is
his
exactly
meaning
right.
off
You
of
can
it.
figure that out. She does this to me. This is how she shows me her love, and say it like that. This is my love language. This is how I show you love. That way, he could understand what the love language is. But at the same time, he can also build on that, saying "I love you." To somebody, if that's how you show your love language every day, I love you, I love you. It's gonna seep in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's gonna learn, even if it's a fraction of it. He's gonna know, wow, that's what I've been missing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I wouldn't.
Not until he finds somebody else.
And that might
And
have to be
that's
it.
when he's gonna know what
And that
he's
might
been
have to
missing.
be it.
But the thing is, you could only, like, if you're in your divinity, you can only speak to the king in him to try to bring that out. You can't try to show him how to love, because men and women don't love the same. So that's
Right.
the only thing you can do. You can be consistent with yourself. If you love him, you could be consistent with him, and you could show him your love language. But working with him, I agree with. But you gotta be patient to speak to the king in him, so he could bring that out.
Right, but
But
I
you
wouldn't.
can't.
I wouldn't
That's
waste too much
manipulation.
time with that.
It's manipulation by
Yeah.
trying to
How
show
long
him how
should
to
you
love.
wait?
How long should you wait? you know what? If
Like, I'm 21 right now.
It's not
How
about the
long should you
time
wait?
frame. It's not about the time frame, Jay.
No, I know it's
It's
not, but I
about
just wanted to.
this is
yeah,
what it
wanted
is.
to say.
This is
you
what it
said
is.
it.
You did say
You
it.
said
It's
it
the
in a different.
communication. It's the communication. That's what it comes down to. It's the communication. The difference between my relationships and I believe like modern or conventional, there's arrangements there. There's communication. There's understanding. There's acceptance. So there's always a plan.
Yeah, but you have
There's
also said that you clip them, right? Your submissives and all that when they don't follow, right? So and
yeah,
that's the
because that's
BDSM, like,
breaking the agreement.
right. And so, but in a regular relationship
Mhm.
that, they're still trying to learn that, how long
I
should she wait? Because
That's why I
in
say
a
there's no
different,
time frame
but in a different episode, you said women should ask these questions if
in
you
the
don't want to
beginning.
waste your
In the
time.
beginning, the courting process.
Right, but now that they're in the relationship, right? And because they're so young, that's not a question that should be asked
Yeah.
straight out at the courting process. Now, let's say they're together 2 years. How long now?
It should be asked because this is how you
But
ask
didn't
it.
we say
This is
that?
how you ask it,
Yeah, but
ladies,
he didn't want to answer.
ladies and gentlemen,
Which was fair because he's so young.
and the ladies here. This is how you ask it. What are your goals? Do you have a 5-year plan?
That's a good start.
And if like don't ask marriage straight up, yeah, that might scare him away. But ask him, do you have a 5-year plan? Do you have kids? Oh, you can have kids. You see them, you spend time with them, you're still with the baby mother. Okay, y'all separate, but you spend time with them. Do you want more
Again, you're showing
kids?
your age.
Do you want
that's
more kids? Like, do you have a
I'm
plan?
like, I don't even have a plan. Like at this age,
And
like,
and you
I don't know.
you shouldn't, because if he's gonna be the man deemed as that, he should.
I don't know. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone like
Younger.
who's young. Yeah, like you don't know. I don't know what I want to do with my life. You know, I mean, like,
So in a way, let's say Jay, let's say we're the same age,
okay,
and we just met and we're going out to dinner or whatever it is to
Okay.
get to know each other, and we're talking about this.
Mhm.
We didn't converse at all. This topic didn't come up at all in
Right.
our conversation. We spent all day together. We had dinner, we went to go-kart, shooting range, museum.
busy day,
Yeah.
money.
So now so now as the relationship, we're in a relationship now. 6 months go by, a year
Right.
go by, and you tell me we've been together for a year. When are you gonna marry me? I'm gonna say, we didn't talk about this on the first date. We never talked about this up until this point.
Right.
You see what I mean?
So,
It
but
should be talked about right then and there. There should be a plan of why we think. We had that show, episode 68.
We did, but again,
If your date, hold on, why are you, what was it? Why are you dating this person if you don't see potential?
a future with them. Yep.
Marriage or whatever it is. So that should always be the person. Like, I always ask women, why are you here? Do you just
Right.
want sex? Do you just want to be dominated, tied up,
Right.
spanked? Why are you here? So women should be asking the same thing.
Yes, but
It's-
again,
Why
we're
do you
going-
want to date me? What do you see in me?
well, yeah, but what if it's like a first time relationship? You don't know what
Still,
you're doing.
the same
No,
thing.
Like, okay, so what if that person doesn't know, like, you know, like to ask that question? You know,
They could tune into this very podcast.
Nice.
Ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, we're also on
There we go.
Patreon down there. Patreon/ the DisciplineTherapyPodcast.com.
Well done.
I like that setup what you did there. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
Yo, I got books.
Hell yeah.
He's got
He got
books.
books. He's an author, people.
A whole box full.
All right, we're gonna have to revisit this because we still have a whole bunch of bullets to
okay,
finish.
okay.
Okay, guys.
Put a
But
pin
I
in
do
it.
like it. Maybe we could bring you back on for
That was
specifically
good.
this.
That
I
was,
like it.
was good topics.
Yes.
All right. Do men have to be husband or marriage material to be cuffed by a woman?
No. A lot of women do it. Hey, he's a good time. I'm young. I'm living my life. I don't know what I want. You know, I like him. Even if he's just like, you know, like
Right.
a
Again,
bum, a bozo.
again, this is definitely
That's
these
true.
questions are age related.
So
It depends on
Well,
age.
I don't think so. For me personally, because I think God dick or good dick could make a woman want to get married to you. I think if you're a great
That's true.
provider, protector, you could teach her, guide her, whatever, will make a woman want to marry you. If you
Definitely.
like got a
If
bad
you got
boy,
money,
yeah.
True.
If you got money, if you got a bad boy streak,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You like adventure and you give her adventure, you make her feel alive,
Yep.
she might want to
she's
marry
there. Yeah,
you. You know what I'm saying? So, and that could be any age.
that's true.
Right.
What does a wife title or to be one mean? Oh,
I
we
feel
were
like we
just
talked
talking
about
about
this.
this.
This
Well,
Did
got
we
what,
ever
covered.
answer it?
what, no, we
We
didn't.
said it was
Oh.
subjective, though.
Exactly. What do you think,
Ah.
Jay?
Wife title. Oh, that's so subjective that I'm like, I don't know.
She's like, I ain't never been a wife.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a wife one day?
Slay, definitely.
Okay, so then talk about what you want to bring a husband.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay, yeah, good perspective. I would want, to give all the love I have in my heart because I have a very big heart, and so I would want to give like love, like do thoughtful things for them, like like kind of like I know like a fairy tale isn't realistic, but why can't it be? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like communication. I would definitely like. I'm just like a bread bag chaser, so I would definitely I'm not gonna rely on
On him.
and yeah, that's just not my style. Like I know some men like that, let me pay for everything, but that's not being a wife to me personally. I don't think like,
So
he should
you
have to
spoil him
provide.
too, you're saying?
Not necessarily yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you
You
take
know,
on responsibility, not because
for
you
sure.
don't want to have all of it
All
on his
that, yeah,
shoulder.
that's not
Got you.
fair, I feel
Okay.
like. Um Yeah, like just kindness, support, like be that shoulder for him to cry on, let him see you don't have to be like
Tough all
you
the
don't got
time,
to be like that with me. Like, like I'm going to hold you down like
no
just,
matter what.
exactly, just be that support, show that love like, and that's what I think
Cool.
being a wife is. Everyone
Very
else?
nice.
Everyone else? He's going to say
Do
I
you?
disagree with everything.
Do
You
you?
are a sucky wife.
No, I
No, no,
actually
no.
agree with a lot of the stuff you said,
Hey.
There we go.
which is surprising. But for me personally, I would
The money. I
no
think
no
that's what
no.
it is.
I would add what happened?
No, no,
I
no.
would
Are you gonna say
add
cooking?
I would add submission,
Okay.
um obedience. I would say nurturing.
Yeah.
I would say emotional support. He
Yes.
had a rough day, and he likes his bath ran or a massage. Let
Mhm.
me cook him his favorite food or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
Thoughtful.
he's the
Exactly.
breadwinner or the provider. He protects me, makes me feel safe. So I'm gonna look out for him too.
Mm-hmm.
Acceptance,
Yeah.
understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and like learning him. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like she sees, okay, he walked through the door, his
Pick up
He's
on the
quiet today.
energy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
his energy is off. Let me maybe leave him alone. He doesn't want to talk. I say, how was your day? I don't want to talk about it.
We're not
Okay, let
Okay.
talking
me
about it. Respect boundaries.
respect boundaries.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And just be virtuous. You know what I'm saying? Like let him feel special.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like you're married. Don't be in the parking lot twerking and taking a video of it.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't.
unless you discuss it beforehand, like maybe
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
he's cool with
maybe,
that.
yeah, exactly. Just depending on the man, like,
Yeah, but most
but
men won't be.
most men won't be.
Especially with their wives. Just like be that person, even to vet like a listening ear.
Yeah.
If a man is telling you something like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially pouring his heart out or whatever it is within you, like letting you know how his day was, whether it was good or rough.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So be there and show him that you want to be about family, and maybe kids and stuff.
Maybe some kids.
Then
Maybe
I
some kids.
would
I don't know.
I would say like that is
Oh yeah.
that's the
For me
wife title.
personally, kids are mandatory.
Yeah, she got
It's a
his
must.
back,
Yeah.
like ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Same page.
You know.
Go ahead.
I agree with everything you guys said. What gender carries more of the weight in the relationship?
Women. He's not gonna agree with me, but women, because women are like, okay, so we're going way back to the 50s. Women have to make it work. Whatever the man says goes, and she just has to be okay with that, which I think puts more weight on her. You know what I mean? Like, so if I have to do, like I'm trying my best to make it work, like let's say, like I feel like with the typical, you go to like a middle class, upper middle class neighborhood. My husband's cheating on me with his assistant, like, and we have kids, so I have to make it work. You know what I mean? So that's what.
I'm going to say that it's different for each of them, and I'm going to expand on what you said. It's not only that, but women are the one who are in charge of the children.
Right,
their
typically.
education and not that they go behind the husband's back. It's agreed upon, but the kids come to the mother more with problems than they do with the father.
Right.
Right, the father is there to be the disciplinary, if anything. You've heard the moms say, on TV shows, wait till your father comes home, or wait till I tell your father, because they're the ones that are the
My mother
disciplinary.
used to do that to me.
Exactly. But
She's the disciplinarian.
yeah,
She
and I'm
was-
also, the fixer of everybody's
is.
problems.
She
You know what I
is.
mean? So it's that, and then keeping the house clean, keeping the food and all that. While the man has more of the burden of financial, paying the bills, and if things, let's
No,
say he gets
we know
laid
that, but
off.
who has more?
Oh,
I'm gonna say that I think because of the financial, it's probably more. I'm gonna say the man.
Okay. Jay, I agree with you.
okay.
You said the woman?
I did say the woman.
Psych. I don't agree.
I feel like
Psych, I
now
don't
that
agree.
okay, now that
The-
she said that, she brought up a
the
very
man.
valid point.
And I'll give you
I don't know.
I'll explain why the man.
Okay.
Because I go back to the law. I go back to the law of relationship, how men control relationship and commitment. And a woman's always gonna come to the man. If she's in a relationship with a man, she's always gonna want to know what his input is, even if she's making a decision for herself. If she's fortunate to be like an alpha in her day-to-day and she makes decisions, she will incorporate that and she might instill that in her relationship. However, women are not born like this. They need to train to be good decision makers or decision makers in general. Because growing up, women are more inclined to being taken care of, where men are more men are built to be more self-sufficient. You see, men don't require safety and protection of that nature.
Well, I think
So
hold on, I just want to add this. Like, yes, but like when there's, an oldest daughter and she has to take care of, her younger children, she doesn't know what it's like to
Siblings?
be yeah.
it's that's subjective,
So
and that's like a
that's
small
like a
percentage.
big thing. No, definitely not. Older daughters, in like all like Hispanic,
Yeah.
like households, all Asian households, they have that first daughter that gets, like really
Yeah.
shit on, and she has to take on so much responsibility at such a young age. That's not, I wouldn't say that's uncommon at all, especially in like Latin
Yeah.
America, anywhere that's not the Western world.
Central Americans, yeah, South
Anywhere
Americans.
that you look, a lot of the women, like single mothers. So then again, that's more women having to. Well, I guess that
Yeah, but
does
this is
come
a
later on in life,
relationship, though.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
this
Yeah.
goes beyond that.
Yeah.
And that wait a minute. The
Okay.
childhood thing, that's not
Right.
even You made
Okay.
a good point,
I just
but
want to say. Well, you
it's
said that
not
they're not born with that, and so I just want to say, like, you could be raised like that from a young age
That's true.
to
you
be a
have to be
decision maker.
you still have to be taught.
Yeah.
It doesn't come
Okay.
natural. Because I study my little nephew and I see he has natural abilities. Then I study my niece, their brother and sister. You see what I'm saying? So she's constantly dependent upon him. And the age, it doesn't matter. And she's not able to make decisions unless she gets his input. I see that with the kids. So a lot of the burden is on the man to be the provider, to make sure there's shelter if they're not going 50-50 financially.
And even
The
so, they
disciplinary
still put
action,
more of it in, I think.
disciplinary action for the children. He's expected to lead. He's expected to make decisions. Baby, what do you want to eat today?
Oh
I
my God,
always hear that
so
from
my
women.
boyfriend. I never
Your
decide.
boyfriend ask you, what do you want to eat?
No, I never decide.
Oh.
I never ever decide where to
So
eat.
usually women, okay, so women are agreeable creatures. Like that's how they're born. I was talking about this at the workshop where you was at. Inclusive relationships versus exclusive. Inclusive is a feminine energy. So women are programmed to be like to have inclusive relationships. So they're most likely to be agreeable. They're before they make a decision, they want to read nonverbal signs to see if my decision was okay, if anybody's mad. A lot of men don't care. We're making a decision. I don't care if you're giving me the mad face.
Yeah.
We're going. So I always hear women doing this. Baby, what do you want to eat today? See? You see, so it's like the burden is on him to, even in the courting process, come up with the dates, pay on the first date. Like I feel like
Okay,
so much.
I'll agree. I'll change my decision.
Yay. All right. Do you think prenups should be discussed prior to marriage?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Next topic.
So I think prenup should be discussed because you know how like a LLC you have to renew. I think it should be like that. Whereas
me
after
too.
a couple of years, you have something where they send you, hey, you guys have to renew your vows, or do you
Your
want to
licenses.
split?
Yeah.
Like a license.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with
Yeah.
that.
So
I like
now
that
it's
idea.
almost like a evaluation after a year or 2 years. Yeah, and
should
also
be every 3 years.
there might be some women out here who, and maybe men too, so I don't want to just pick on the women, but there might be some women out here who kind of play the game to get the marriage and then say, okay, if it fails, we didn't sign a prenup, I'm gonna take every like half
yeah.
and his pension.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll
I
just
know
start
somebody that
I'll
did
start
that.
my own. And I see that girl, she's single and she was telling me all these checks she's getting. I'm gonna do the same thing. Child support, everything. So now I can initiate divorce. So you see what
Where
I'm
did
saying?
that come
So
from? Oh, prenup.
women are social
Titles.
creatures.
Yeah.
So you can meet a woman at the supermarket in the line and start talking to her.
Yeah. Oh no, that's so me. I'm like, I like your earrings. I
And
like your
and I
nails.
could see the same dude. He got some nice sneakers on or whatever. I don't care. I'm giving him a head nod. And I came in here for milk for the house, for deodorant, boxers, whatever. I'm out. I'm not trying to socialize. In and out like a bank job. But a woman might communicate with a stranger.
Oh yeah, that's me.
You know, that's
That's a lot of women.
That's that inclusive. So
I like to
that's part of
compliment
like
people.
that's part of
Makes them
relation.
That's not wrong with it.
No, I know.
That's part of relationship and building rapport. And also when it pertains to relationship, I had it at the tip of my tongue. Man. When women are
Inclusive.
yes, they're building inclusive relationships. They
Care more about relationships.
care more about relationships and about I remember. Women care more about let's be friends, even if it doesn't work out in the relationship.
Oh, with their
Then
boyfriends?
men.
100%. But sometimes men will want to be friends just so they could be, like
They have
exes.
ulterior motives.
Stalkers.
Ulterior motives
But
for sure.
women are like, let me just like Pokemon. Let me just accumulate a whole bunch of male friends.
Slay.
You know
I
what I'm saying?
think
While I'm
women
in a
say that.
relationship.
For you
I
ladies.
think women say that if they're the one breaking up with them so that the guy doesn't
Seem like
feel
the bad guy. That's part of
Yeah.
being agreeable. That's part of inclusive still.
Yeah, I think that's also part of manipulation, but that's just me.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down to final thoughts. Jalen,
Okay.
what is your final thoughts on do men and women care more about titles than the actual relationship?
I'm going to say, oh man, here we go again. How did I answer it before? Do men and women care more about titles? I want to say, I think they care more about the relationship. Okay, like it comes into age again, culture, but I'm gonna say more they care about the relationship. I wanna
Women?
say.
Women?
No, men and
Men.
women. It says.
Men care
Yeah.
more about relationships?
No. It's men and women. Isn't that
Yeah,
the whole
do
thing?
men
It doesn't
and
say men
women.
or women. It says men and women.
Well, okay, then care more about titles than the actual relationship.
I think they care more about. I don't know. More about the actual relationship. I can only answer for like myself and what I've seen around me. I'm gonna say definitely because some people are like forced into marriage. They're like, hey, you
Yeah.
want to live in my house, you have to be married, kind of thing. So it's like,
It happened to me.
it did, and so it's like
My own mother.
for that reason, I'm gonna say the relationship because like
Okay.
Carol G said, like I just draw from there. I just draw
Okay.
from that.
Those are your final thoughts?
Those are my final thoughts.
What are yours?
My final thoughts on do men and women care more about titles than the actual relationship? Um,
Oh wait, can I expand? Sorry.
sure, go ahead.
Okay, so also it's like once you're like let's say like you're old already, like like you're old, like actually old, like 60s. Okay. So like you already had your marriage, whatever, it didn't work out. Now you have like your little boo, and it's like at that point we don't got to put
Get
anything on
married.
it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
we just love each other. Like I don't want to get married. I've
That
already been
yeah,
divorced.
that
You know what
actually
I
does
mean?
happen a lot. Yeah,
mm,
it's
Exactly.
like they get scarred from it, and now they don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that
Sorry to cut you off.
no, that's okay. I think men and women care. I'm gonna agree with the age. It's age related. About the relationship, I think younger women care more about the relationship, and older, not older. Huh. That's a hard one. I think it depends on where you are in your life and the type of person that you are. I don't know
Oh,
what to tell you.
so true. But I had
I
to
mean,
that's
answer.
not an answer.
dang it.
Exactly.
They care more about titles.
Oh, no.
Finally, an answer.
Sorry.
Okay, so do men and women care more about titles than the actual relationship? They care more about titles.
Hey, I said that.
A woman would rather be, and I'm talking in everything, past, present, modern, traditional, everything. That's what I'm talking about. Um, it's like if I'm owned by you, or you're I'm yours, that's prestigious to me, a woman might say.
Mhm.
If a man might say, if you are my wife, my girlfriend, that's prestigious. Everything else, you could post your body online, other guys could see, but I'm your man.
Mm.
See, he cares about the boyfriend title, not the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how to engage in a relationship. We never taught this in college. You see what I'm saying? Now they have dating coaches and whatever else there, but they never had that back in the day. So we don't know about marriage. We don't know about relationship. We just know from watching it, celebrities, whatever it's our
Parents.
parents. That's how we know it. A
Which can be
relationship needs to
dangerous.
be nurtured to grow. It's like I say, like the human body is electromagnetic.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is electric and the earth is magnetic. We charge with the sun,
Mhm.
so we're able to manifest with the universe, because it's electromagnetic. So we're like a plant. The sun needs water. The plant needs the sun and water to grow, and
Right.
oxygen. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like a relationship. Like a relationship needs to be nourished and have the
And
proper
watered.
components in there to grow. The communication, the healthy conversations, the acceptance, understanding, the growth for it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So most people don't worry about that. Even back in the days, they didn't communicate like that. It was like the women practice hypergamy. Okay, he's the guy's dude. He pay my bills or whatever it is. I'm gonna cook and clean for him. It was like a transactional relationship. I stayed home and did the kids or whatever. Barely spoke, but they stayed together for survival.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Whereas now, like, come on, we talking about a era of technology, the juggernaut. Social media is the juggernaut. A lot of people today are afraid of face to face interaction.
Mm-hmm.
They can't sustain long conversations.
It's true.
That's so
No,
You
that's
true.
you see
true.
what I'm saying? So like that's part of a relationship. That's part of building that. It is also the 5 levels of intimacy that I was talking about. The sexual, the physical, the emotional, the recreational, doing things together.
Mhm.
The emotional, the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys think differently, view the world differently? You know what I'm saying? So like all that stuff is going to help the relationship grow. And that comes with work. So a lot of people don't really like to do work. So
Yep.
that's why it's easier to just be like, you might even have a woman who lives a poly relationship with a man. She knows he has 2 other mistresses, but she's the wife.
Yeah.
Title. She don't even care to see him because he's paying all the bills. I get to shop. I probably got my own boo on the side. She
Right.
doesn't care to communicate. He probably travels all the time.
Mhm.
They're barely seeing each other, barely doing things together. She cares about having that ring. She cares about being that wife. And that's just That's just an example. I'm not saying all women are like this.
No, I got you.
You see what I'm saying? So it comes down to the title because the relationship is work. That's why a lot more people would rather be in fuck buddy relationships. Sexually, the hookup culture. Hookup culture doesn't make sense
Yeah.
because it's like, how are you pair bonding? There, how are you building
Wait.
anything? Y'all are emotionally unavailable.
But that's not a title. Like, it doesn't count as like a relationship title. But you're saying more people would rather do that. So then, if more people are doing that,
That's
do
a
they care more about the titles?
that's a
That's more a
title.
relationship. Not necessarily. It's like I don't think it's necessarily.
Okay, that's your
title.
opinion. But if
What do
that's
you
a
think?
fuck buddy, that's my fuck buddy. That's
Yeah.
my boo title. That's
Yeah.
my it's okay.
You're putting him in or her in a category.
Yeah. I was hanging out all summer. Now it's winter season. I need a cuddle boo title.
Yeah.
Cuddle.
Can you just come
Cuddling
over?
season.
Can you just come over once a week? Pipe me
Right.
I
down.
want to cuddle. Oh, dang.
Pipe me down.
I thought you said cuddle buddy.
The woman
Yeah.
might be like, pipe me down, maybe cuddle with me. Don't spend the night.
Okay.
He has a way. He does have a way to get
I'm
his
like,
point
all right.
across.
Or the guy might be like that.
Yeah.
He's not building anything within the relationship. He's not building emotions. That he's emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
He's not sharing things. You know, he's not making her even feel privileged because he's entertaining a whole bunch of other women too.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? He could be living a poly relationship, right? But he has those other 2 or 3 that he's building an emotion with. He's not just entertaining 100 chicks because 100 chicks get the luxury to have what he has.
At that point, I don't know if it's luxury. That's community dick. Like, I don't think
Well,
that's anything.
that's another topic.
That's,
That's another topic
Yeah.
of conversation. And you know what? Community dick doesn't really exist. But you're entitled to your own opinion.
That's for a different episode.
We got to
Yeah.
bring her back for a different one with that.
Women get passed around. Men don't.
Oh,
Women
please.
can't fuck men.
I'm like, no, we were on a high note. We're on a high note.
Let's end it
Okay.
on a high note.
Okay. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. It's the titles. Most people don't care about the actual relationship. Having a relationship takes work, and a lot of people are afraid of work.
Everybody
You
wants
know.
the easy way.
And
out
that
now.
just comes down to the summary of just unhealed people. Because
Yeah.
people who are healed want to do the work and they want to build with you.
Mhm.
You know, so the easy way out is just the unhealed
Right.
men and women.
It's true.
Yeah.
All
So
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once again for the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.